The cyberspace is home to billions of people and is the right platform you need to grow your business. The Center for Innovation and Technology is offering you a golden opportunity to speak directly to your market at an affordable price. We also offer media training workshops, live streaming, documentary production, and events management. Get in touch with us today on the following numbers: +263 867 711 0290 or 0718 100 235. Don't forget to subscribe to our social media platforms. Like our Facebook page, Center for Innovation and Technology. Follow us on Twitter @SiteZW. And you can also check out our website, www.site.org.zw. You can also visit our offices at 45 Moffat Avenue, Hillside, Blaui. Take advantage of this opportunity to expand your business.
Hello and welcome to Asakhe Online. I'm your host, Mbekezeli. Today I'm with John Nyumbu. Welcome.
How's it, Mbeke?
Hi, I'm doing well.
Yeah, good.
How has it been like? You're from the Local Cup in Harare.
Yeah, unfortunately we didn't play too well. We came last on the log. We didn't win a game, but despite the results, I thought there were some decent performances from the guys. The PT, collectively as a team, it didn't come together. But going forth, we're looking forward to the Pro 50s.
Oh, well, that's nice. The resiliency part is quite good there. Maybe if you can just brief us, where did it all begin for you?
Taking back way when I was still a little boy. I was never meant to be a cricketer, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up from a soccer-loving background. Played soccer, grew up in Mzilikazi. You know, I wanted to be the next Peter Ndlovu, just like any other township grown boy. But fortunately, I didn't have a first and third term sport in high school. So a couple of my friends just said, just come and hang around with us playing cricket, and I just fell in love with the sport from there.
Then, did it start at school, or maybe it's a sport that you started to pursue after you were done with school?
There was still a toss-up between between football and cricket, and going forth even to my last year of school, A-level at Milton High School. I was still playing both cricket and football, but I couldn't get the opportunity to go and play football for the clubs because of where I stayed, and time young corner I didn't feel was there. But proximity-wise, BAC was a bit closer to home, so tag along again with the same kind of friends that invited me to play cricket. So I managed to hang around there at BAC, playing the odd game for the second team, and funny enough, the talent just sprout out from there.
Now, when the opportunity came for you to pursue cricket, the ups and downs, what were the challenges that you faced, and how did you manage to hang on until you got to your first class debut?
Jeez. Lucky enough, I made my first class debut when I was still at school. But the jump from the first class debut to actually being a regular in the team was quite a big one, because we had quality players, we had national team players with the likes of Gavin Ewing, Keith Dabengwa, you know, those guys were regulars in the national team. So I just had to hang in there and keep on playing club cricket and trying to make sure that when my opportunity came, I made the most of it.
Okay. Now, which clubs have you rubbed shoulders with that helped you to nurture your career as you moved on?
The first club that I played for was Queen Sports Club. I think I played there for about 3 seasons. Moved to Blair Athletic Club. I think that's where I can say I spent pretty much most of my upbringing time as a cricketer. You know, rubbing shoulders with the likes of Charles Coventry, Gavin Ewing, Tawanda Mpariwa, Hit Streak. And then when I came of age, I left, and 2009, I think I started playing for Emakhandeni Cricket Club. And that's where I've been playing even up to now.
Okay. This is the new version of yourself compared to the time you made your debut. Tell us about the version that you are right now. What has changed and where you've improved or the challenges that you're still facing as a player.
First class debut, international debut.
Well, the first class debut as a club cricketer.
Okay. Yeah, as a young man, growing in the sport, you take a lot of things for granted. And back then, having, how can I put it, having recognized players actually playing the senior role for you, you tend not to feel the pressure. But now as a captain per se, as a senior player per se, it's now my turn to impart the knowledge that I got from the other guys, the Streaks, the Mpumelelo Mbangwas, the Mluleki Nkalas, the Dabengwas. I feel now it's my turn to impart the same knowledge that was imparted to me to the upcoming cricketers.
Then on the national side, how has been the challenge coming up for you?
Jeez, that I think that was, for me, a test of patience, because I made my first class debut in 2004, and I made my international debut in 2014. So that 10 years was very tough. I actually got to the point where I had said, I'm enough, maybe international cricket was not for me. Maybe I was just meant to be a first-class cricketer. But, God has got other plans for everyone, and maybe that test in character for me and that patience was going to be a test for me in the test match, as they say. So I didn't give up, and the last season before I made my international debut, I was privileged enough to be joint top wicket taker in the Logan Cup. And that was then, and the test match came. It happened in the test match, and happy days.
Yeah, we are going to shed more light on the test match issue there because there are quite some interesting facts about it. But now there's a prevailing emotion with cricket fans. Many cricket fans are biased towards the batsman. And I know you are much of a bowler. What's your take on that one?
I think it's fair to say that for cricket to be exciting to like the general public, people want to see sixes and fours. So that's why they ended up enjoying watching batters and watching us bowlers getting in for sixes. But yeah, it's a challenge as a bowler and as part of certain bowling units that to ensure that we expose the public or the fans or whoever is watching to the fact that bowlers also play a huge part in the game. When we get wickets, unlike when a batsman hits a six, they don't celebrate. But when you get a wicket, it's like scoring a goal, Yeah. So you just put the fun element in it by crazy celebrations, just trying to make the most out of it. Because trust me, as a bowler, you will get it for so many sixes. Yeah. And you have to live with that. But then also when you get the wicket, you need to make sure that you enjoy the moment because you don't know when the next wicket is going to come. The batter has got 6 opportunities to hit you for a 6. So when you get that opportunity to get them out, you just have to be happy and make the most of it.
Beautiful. Now, there are terms that are used in bowling, and I know you're a spinner.
Yeah.
Terms like off-break, leg spinner. We seem not to understand or grasp exactly what they mean. Maybe that's why they're biased towards the batsman, because what you guys do is a bit complicated for them. Can you just break them down for us? What does it mean to say leg spinner, off-break, and all those terms?
Yeah, in cricket, there are 2 sides of the field. Let's say a right-hander is batting, is probably batting right-handed. The side that he's facing is called the offside. And the side or aliflatele, is called the leg side. So you find that there are in-swing bowlers and there are off-spin bowlers. They are pretty much the same. The difference is that an in-swing bowler is a bit quicker and is a faster version of the off-spin bowler. So the ball will be pitching from the offside, going to the leg side. And then there's an outswing bowler and a leg spinner. It's like the opposite of the other guy. So it's starting from the leg side, probably going to the offside.
Yeah, because much of it seems to be a little bit complicated, especially when they express the terms on TV of break, leg spin.
But I think it's not really something that people can bother themselves with, because cricket is just a simple sport. You got the guy who's batting, who's trying to stop the ball from hitting the stumps, those 3 wooden sticks.
Yes.
And you've got the guy that's bowling, that's trying to hit that. In between that, you've got a ball that's being hit all over the show. You want the guy to hit the ball in the air so that they can be caught out. So, and he wants to hit the ball so that he can keep running between the wickets. So it's not really complicated per se, but the more people watch it, the more actually people listen to what the commentators are saying about what's happening, the more they get to grow in the sport and learn much more.
Right. Now, we have seen some decisions being reversed, especially when it comes to the leg before wicket. What are the key pointers for the decisions to be reversed or for them to stand as per the umpire's call?
The term on its own, LBW, means leg before wicket. So the ball has to be hitting the wickets.
Okay.
You know, that's I think that's the basic thing that you can actually say to someone. Some other terminologies, it becomes a bit complex for the lay person. But yeah, that's just it. The ball has to be hitting you in line with the wickets.
Well expressed there, well expressed. Now, maybe to magnify the picture of our discussion, you've been involved in Zimbabwean cricket for quite a long time now. Yeah. Given a time frame of 5 to 10 years, where do you see our cricket going?
I mean, I hope to see it moving forward, but my hope comes from the hope that we get more game time. Because I believe for anything to improve, it needs constant rehearsing. And rehearsing in sport is not time spent at practice or at nets. It's actually time spent actually playing the sport. So you find that Bangladesh has improved. But imagine how many times Bangladesh came to play against us when we were beating them. Yes. They were gaining from us because we were a bit better than them. So that's it. If we're going to play Australia, if we're going to play South Africa, New Zealand, all the other big teams, even if they beat us, but we're learning something. And in due course, we'll be able to compete and here and there beat them. So I think the emphasis is for cricket in Zimbabwe to keep on being played at every level, from school level, from club level, from provincial level to international level. The more the game is played, the more the game is spread, the better it becomes. And from what I've seen, Zimbabwe cricket is actually trying to ensure that that happens, and they're actually trying to get teams to come and play against us, actually trying to get us to go and play against other teams. So the more that happens, the more the people will be exposed, the more players get to play under different conditions, different pressures, different places, and hopefully things will be all right in the next 5 years.
Yeah, maybe to use the context of what you've just said, there's a realization that Zimbabwe is less involved in test matches nowadays, because the latest ranking for Zimbabwe is we're at number 10. 9 other associate nations that we've been playing with for quite a long time now, they've got games more than 43 going up. What has led to the descent of Zimbabwe being involved in test cricket?
Just like I said, you know, back then, I think there used to be a future tours program where ICC would say each team plays against each other twice every 5 years. But now they are bilateral tours. Mm-hmm. So for Zimbabwe to want to play against Australia, Zimbabwe has to approach Australia and say, look, listen, are you keen on playing against us? And we playing against you home and away. So now with all that's happening and with all the major countries that are playing these T20 leagues, you'll find that they've got limited space in their calendars to actually accommodate smaller teams like us. Because also hosting a test match, hosting a tour is quite expensive. So there are also pros and cons there. We can easily play against Afghanistan throughout the year. But then the problem is the financial aspect of it. There are no TV rights. There are no sponsorship packages. So that's I think that's the main thing that is affecting cricket Zimbabwe as a whole. The bilateral tours. But hopefully ICC will do something about it. hopefully we'll be able to engage the bigger countries to actually play against us and help us improve.
Yeah, maybe sticking to Zimbabwe cricket or Cricket Zimbabwe. ICC introduced an anti-doping code, which seeks to maintain the integrity of the sport, to protect the health and the rights of the participants. What has Zimbabwe as a nation done towards fighting against the use of drugs in sport?
Jeez. On that, I've actually, every time I think I've been involved with the national team and the anti-doping guys have come, funny enough, I'm picked the most. I think it's myself, it's Christopher Mpofu, it's Sean Williams, who are always being picked. So with that, you can see that there's actually measures that are being taken to actually ensure that our sport is drug-free. And I'm not sure if it's done in other sporting codes or other sporting disciplines, but I hope it is. And by that, I also hope that it's being done also at a lower level, not only at international level, because it's easy to do it at international level, but the key thing is what is coming to feed the international level. Is it a player that has been exposed to this and such a drug, and then they get caught up there in the international scene, and then they're in trouble? Or can it be done to curb it from where it starts, like from the roots? If it means them starting at primary school or high school, because funny enough, you'll find that bakhona abafana kumbe amankazana who do drugs at primary school.
That's true.
I mean, we're exposed to that when we're young, growing up emakasi and stuff like that. So I hope they actually start doing it from a primary school and high school perspective.
And in that regard, you just spoke about abafana abancane being exposed to these things. Maybe a short advice to the people out there, because I'm sure as much as they're being addicted to these drugs, they've got a talent in something. A short advice to them.
I think the only thing that I can say is that drugs affect your body. And as a sportsman, your body is king. For you to perform at peak performance, for you to play for a long period of time in the sport, you need to take care of your body. So it's either you're doing fitness or you're in the gym where you're perfecting your skills. There is no coach that can tell you that mfana mambepe mukwai or mfana mambepe mimpanjo or mfana mitati glue or whatever. They always stick to the same thing. Work hard, work hard, work hard. And if there's a myth that if I use such and such a drug, I'll do these exploits, I'm here to tell them that that myth is not true. It's work hard, and more hard work.
Now, we have seen bigger names like Sean Wayne, Shoaib Akhtar being involved in doping scandals. How does it impact you as a committed cricketer to get to hear that your fellow sportsmen are involved in drugs?
At the end of the day, the talent and the option and the choice that you make is yours. But if I'm correct, when those people did that and when they were caught, they realized that what they did was wrong. They apologized and they reverted back to the right stuff. That's why they end up playing for as long as they did. And at that high level, if you see a guy playing international cricket for 10 or so years, excelling, which means they're doing something right. So I think they went back to hard work. And yeah, everyone makes mistakes. So, but I think the most important thing is how you bounce back from that mistake. I mean, that's what makes a person, be it in sport, be it in life, in everything. Your rebound is the most important thing after whatever you do. Even if it's a good thing, you can score a hat-trick today. And if you don't score a goal in the next 5-10 games, people think that was a one-hit wonder. So I think they did the right thing by coming out, apologizing, and carrying on with their sport and doing well for themselves, their country.
Very wise there. Before we look into your international debut, would you wish that one day you run a cricket academy?
Yeah, I actually do. It's good giving back. And once a sportsman, always a sportsman. I mean, the reason why we chose sport is we don't want to be in the office. No disrespect to people who work in the office. I've got nothing against them, but doing what you like, you know, is always a pleasure. It's always a privilege to be able to work on the field, and hopefully, God willing, I'll be able to start up something like that that will also help the up and coming, because you want to leave a legacy, and the legacy that you want to leave is I came to cricket when it was like this, but when I left cricket, I left the sport in a better state than it was when I got there.
Now, I don't know if this is still practical, but are schools around taking chances because of the talent that is with you guys? Are they calling you guys to come and train with their children? And which schools have you worked with?
Yeah. I've trained quite a lot of schools. I think my first one was at Petra Primary, and then had to go back to Milton where it all began. Coached for a bit at Milton. Went to Milton Junior. Did a bit of coaching at CBC. When the Heat Street Cricket Academy started, I think I was one of the first couple of guys to coach there. And now I've got a son who's at SOS, so whenever I'm free, I actually try and give back as well there and coach the kids that are there, so that Lami, you know, when my son is at a certain age of understanding, you'll know who Baba Wami actually did this for me when I was at school, or did this for the school, you know. It's all about trying to give back, because a lot has been imparted to me in terms of advice, in terms of coaching, in terms of even cricket kit, you know. So who am I to break that chain, to break that cycle? I might as well also do the same, you know, for the betterment of myself as a person, for the betterment of the school that I'm coaching at, and the kids that I'm giving an opportunity to be exposed to cricket, because not every one of us is a nerd, a brainiac, is going to be 10 A's and stuff, but you find that there's someone, maybe one or two, who will benefit from that. So now I realize they can make an honest living out of sport.
That's a legacy for you to maintain there. That's very beautiful. Now, maybe just to steal a smile from your face, it's August 2014. South Africa is here in Zimbabwe. Your test debut. There's a big names to talk about. How was it like for you?
To be honest, I don't remember. That's not like I do not remember Uguti, how I got the wickets and stuff.
Yes.
But you know, people talk about adrenaline, people talk about how did you feel that day, people talk about hey, how was the feeling, but funny enough, I watched South Africa when they were in Sri Lanka, I think about 2 or 3 months before they came to Zimbabwe. And I had a fight with my missus. Like, I need to pay for DSTV. Like, DSTV at Dura, what? I'm like, no, I need to pay for DSTV because I need to watch South Africa is in Sri Lanka. South Africa after Sri Lanka is coming to Zimbabwe. And I didn't even imagine that I was going to play or that I was going to get selected. It was just a random thing out of the blue. So I did that. I finally managed to win that argument, the first and the one and only argument that you can win with your wife. So I did that. I watched that series. And at the end of that series, I was like, Shamar, if I get the opportunity to play against these guys, I guarantee you I'll take 5 wickets.
Brilliant.
So yeah, as the Bible says, power of the tongue is all, you know,
yes.
What you speak is what becomes. So maybe I was just flowing in the spirit, unknowingly. So yeah, I got my debut. I cried the day before because thinking of what I'd gone through for me to get to that point, you know, it was a bit of an emotional occasion for me. And before we even get to the 5 wickets, I remember facing Dale Steyn. And, boss. And he was at his peak, you know. I don't know how I survived that period, but then come to the bowling. I remember my first over when I got it for a big 6. Then, you know, you start doubting yourself. geez, am I meant to be, got it for a 6, you know. I'm the only spinner in the team, you know, the wicket is meant to be spinning and these guys do this to me. So before lunch, I get my first wicket, Alvaro Peterson. I was still not sure about what was happening, how it was happening, what was the outcome, you know, so I came back as... All the while, Faf du Plessis was in. And when that guy scores runs, he scores runs. So we forgot about him. But the prize wicket for me, the guy that I'd said, noma ngaze ngeke lokudlala test cricket foot. Ngingabholela AP de Villiers, and if I'm lucky enough to get him out, wow. That would have just made my career. That would have just made my career. So fortunate enough, I got AP de Villiers. It was my third wicket. I think my third wicket was Faf du Plessis, yes. My fourth wicket was Dale Steyn. And then when Dale Steyn walked in, now I started believing. Because I was on 3 wickets. So I'm like, to Hamilton, I tell you, if I bowl to Dale Steyn, he'll hit me for 2 huge 6s. And then I'll get him out. Then when Dale Steyn gets out, Mone Mokel is a bowler. I'll just bowl to him and I get him out and I've got my 5. Yeah, 5. So Dale Steyn walked in, he hit 2 huge 6s, and then he got out. Then Hamilton came to me and like, do you realize that you can actually take 5 wickets here? You're on 4 wickets, you can actually take 5 wickets. And then that's when I had a deep breath. But now my plan, I'm like, then Mone Mokel, the guy who we thought couldn't bat, he gets off strike first ball. So now I'm bowling to JP Dumin. He's in about 50. I'm like, but I'd say to Hamilton that I'm going to do this to this guy. Then funny enough, I ended up getting JP Dumin. JP Dumin was my 5th wicket. And boss, that feeling, I actually can't explain it because of the journey. I still think everything comes from the journey. So I still think that 5th wicket just, you know, I always hear Abantu saying, you get lost in the moment.
Yes.
I got lost in the moment then. And I had a flashback, you know. I didn't even know what to say. I walked into the changing room. I think for about 20 or so minutes, I was just quiet. Just thinking, is this me? How though? When? Why? You know? So you keep asking yourself, and then when the moment hits you again, when people start congratulating you, I'd never done a press conference. And when they started asking me questions, then, you know, the journey, as I keep saying, the journey takes you back, you know. So yeah, pretty grateful and pretty thankful that I managed to hold on that little bit longer to be able to experience what I've experienced there.
So as we round up, outside cricket, who is John?
John is a footballer outside cricket.
John is a footballer outside cricket. Keep him fit.
Yeah. I mean, I play a lot of football, and I call myself the footballer that got lost because I think I'm a far much better footballer than I am a cricketer, talent-wise. Yeah, but then I think I also grew up in a time where football was at stiff competition because I played at Milton with guys that were playing Premier League football. I played with the likes of Nhlanhla Dube. I played with the likes of Costa Namoinesu, you know. So yeah, I play football, and with the amount of time that cricket takes out of me during the year, I just enjoy spending time with my sons, you know, chilling at home. You know, family is key, boss. Family is key, you know, because I know each and every time, even though I've had a bad day at cricket, maybe I've gone for plenty runs or I haven't been selected here and there, but, you know, to get home and see the smiles on those little angels, you know, you just forget about everything else, you know, and stay in the moment and appreciate them. So I spend as much time as possible with my family and actually enjoy their company a lot.
Now, I want to bring it to a standstill right now with a question. You are the second Zimbabwean to get 5 wickets on his debut. My question is, who was the first one?
That's not a difficult
That's
question.
not a
Since there are
difficult
only
one.
two. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it was Andy Blignut.
Brilliant.
In Harare as well, against Bangladesh. So
You got it correctly. 10 out of 10 in one question. Now, maybe just a word of advice. There's a young man out there who's inspiring to be a cricketer. You can see the state of our country at the moment, but they're still willing to pursue their career. Just a word of advice.
I think in life, not only in cricket, but in life in general, you need to be disciplined in whatever you do. So it's important that as a cricketer or as a footballer or as a business person, you just research on what you need to do to improve and keep on doing that. But from a cricketing perspective, I think cricket is a tough sport. It's an expensive sport. So if you are willing to go that extra mile as umntwana or as umzali, I think it's important that you need to be so very patient. I mean, someone can make their debut at 17. Someone can be at John Nyumbu and make their debut at, how old was I? At 28 or so.
Yeah.
You see now. So I think discipline, persistency, hard work, and above all, boss, there's nothing that you can do without the hand of God in it.
Brilliant.
So I think in my life, that has been the most prevalent thing, the hand of God in whatever I've done, and that will always lead you onto the right path, So I think those are the main things that we need to do, as sports people and up and coming people. And as you said, as we spoke about earlier, to stay away from substances that can harm your body, which is the epitome of the sport that you want to pursue.
Thanks a lot for that.
Cheers, my buddy.
Thank you for joining us, John.
No, it's the pleasure is all mine. It's been a privilege, being asked to come to a show that will help put Bulawayo on the map. So yeah, thank you very much for having me on your show.
Thank you. There you have it. It's all to play for as a young man. The patience is needed, and as parents also, as much as he has highlighted, cricket is an expensive sport. Patience is needed for the young men out there to make it big. Some players like Dale stay in there to make their debut at a very old age, I believe. Thanks a lot for joining us on Asakhe Sports. Until we meet again.
The cyberspace is home to billions of people and is the right platform you need to grow your business. The Center for Innovation and Technology is offering you a golden opportunity to speak directly to your market at an affordable price. We also offer media training workshops, live streaming, documentary production, and events management. Get in touch with us today on the following numbers: +263 867 711 0290 or 0718 100 235. Don't forget to subscribe to our social media platforms. Like our Facebook page, Center for Innovation and Technology. Follow us on Twitter @SiteZW. And you can also check out our website www.site.org.zw. You can also visit our offices at 45 Moffat Avenue, Hillside, Bulawayo. Take advantage of this opportunity to expand your business.